Today I'm going to tell you how much of Baker Mayfield you can expect to see in his NFL debut and why you might not see a lot of Sterling Shepard, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. So we're going to talk about what you'd expect to see from Baker Mayfield in his NFL debut as the Cleveland Browns quarterback against the New York Giants, Sterling Shepard's New York Giants, and why you might not see as much Shepard as we're used to seeing. But first, some news and notes you need to know. Starting with this. I've wondered a lot about the move for Jordan Parker to strong safety, in particular how he's taking to it, whether or not he wanted to do it, and what he thinks about the move and replacing a guy like Will Johnson, a guy like Stephen Parker, and what he can bring to the position. And in an interview with the Tulsa World, he made it clear that learning the position in college is different from learning the position in high school, in particular what you do with your eyes. Because at the college level, quarterbacks are much better at moving safeties around with their eyes. So you have to be disciplined, and he said as much. In high school, you can lose your eyes a little bit. Out here at Oklahoma, at Norman, during preseason camp, you have to stay a lot more disciplined. This is something he repeated. We all know what kind of cover skills Jordan Parker has. He started against UTEP in 2016 at the corner position, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to see him in that primary, secondary role as a safety who's going to have more opportunities to be a ball hawk. But I wondered if this was a move that he wanted to make or it was one that he was being forced to make. And Lincoln Riley put that to bed saying, quote, "It's all about both sides being bought in. We've always approached those circumstances where you may think it's right as a coach, but if the player doesn't believe in it, it doesn't matter. Those are open conversations that we have to have here. Guys are never going to be moved positions here in Oklahoma against their will. That's not going to happen." I thought that was really cool of Lincoln Riley to put out there. I think that's outstanding for a head coach and in particular position coach to not move a guy against their will and make it clear that this is something, yeah, we believe you can do, but if it's not something that you believe you can do, we're not going to make you do that move. And why that is particular to all of these guys who have made the move, in particular Jordan Parker and Justin Broyles, who must want to play the position. And in Jordan Parker's case, it's clear that Lincoln Riley thinks he's capable, saying, quote, "As we went through it and looked at the depth chart and looked at his skill set, it made sense. He's mentally been bought in the whole time, which has been key. Now it's just getting his feet under him, getting used to the speed of the game, and with tackling it and making all the calls. He's a smart kid. He's getting better fast. I expect he'll be ready to contribute and play here pretty quick." As I hope Justin Broyles will, because while there's going to be a lot of inexperience at safety, there's a lot of talent there, and I want the best guy to win those jobs. On the recruiting front, Brandon Drum has a pretty great note about Permian Panther safety Peyton Powell and his decision to set an official visit for Oklahoma. I encourage you to go check the VIP board to figure out what day that is and what he's expecting to see when he makes the visit. This is a guy who's a high priority target, not just for Oklahoma, but for Ohio State. It's going to be interesting to see what he does and what other Ohio State commits do when Urban Meyer's fate is decided later on this month. Or at least I think it's going to be later on this month. You never can tell because they say these investigations are going to be transparent and nothing ever is. Nothing about this is transparent. They just tell you what they're going to do and then they go do it. You should know that Vegas has Urban Meyer keeping his job, albeit with a suspension. I don't see how he survives this, but I'm not so much worried about it because, well, this is Oklahoma. And I pretty much let the NCAA do what it wants to do as long as it doesn't come near OU, but it seems like the NCAA wants to get more involved in investigations like this, specifically with this new rule change, allowing elite high school basketball seniors to hire an agent and, if they don't get drafted, play college basketball. Also added to this new rule, allowing college seniors to sign with an agent and or test the waters for the NBA draft, is this really legal doctrine that I want to read out loud so that everybody's on the same page because it's a little nuanced. The NCAA also took measures to beef up its enforcement of the rule book, making penalties more severe, adding independent investigators for the complex cases, and allowing NCAA investigators to accept information established by another administrative body, including a court of law, government agency, accrediting body, or a commission authorized by a school, because it appears to be a workaround for what USA Today called a long-standing issue for NCAA investigators, which is their lack of subpoena power. Now, when we get back in the FBI's investigation of some college basketball assistants, this is going to play out, I think, and we'll get a better sense of what this rule is meant to do. Do I think this is going to make its way over to football? No, not in the near future, particularly because The NFL isn't keen on having 19-year-olds enter its league because they like having college football as a minor league system for all intents and purposes. So I don't expect any rule like that to make it through the NCAA if the NFL doesn't want it to. I think one of the reasons that this rule is coming into effect is because the NBA has made it clear that they are reopening this thought process about 18-year-olds being able to join the NBA, get drafted, play professionally here in the United States in the world's best league. Now, the next thing you need to know is that Oklahoma Athletics director Joe Castiglione was inducted into the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. This is a big deal for him. It's a big deal for everybody that gets voted in. But I knew it was a big deal from the quote Castiglione gave to the Oklahoman about what this means to him. Quote goes like this: "I've been put up for adoption twice in my life. Once right after I was born, and once after I was named athletic director at the University of Oklahoma, where I was reborn. It changed my life forever." Castiglione also got a congratulatory call from the daughter of Jim Thorpe, Grace Thorpe, and I, like you, am very proud of what Joe C. has done in 20 years at the athletic director at Oklahoma, achieving all the things that we expect from the University of Oklahoma, particularly in the realm of athletics. Congratulations to you, Joe C. Now, as for why you might not see a lot of Sterling Shepard in the preseason game on Thursday night at 6 o'clock, that'd be Central Standard Time, it's because he and his wife are expecting a baby girl, and the baby girl could be coming any day now. So the former Oklahoma standout and New York Giants wide receiver has something bigger in his life to date than football, and he knows exactly what that means. Off the field, it's different for me because I've never been a parent before, so I'm looking forward to doing that. We're in the early stages of being married, so there's that as well. We're just having fun with it, trying to figure out our way. The Giants have a plan for 24-year-old Shepard. Well, not if, but when Sterling Shepard becomes a father. And if it happens on Thursday, it happens on Thursday, but I would not expect to see a whole lot of Sterling Shepard playing as a New York Giant against Baker Mayfield's Cleveland Browns. Now, we do know that Baker Mayfield is going to get significant playing time. We know this not because Mayfield said it, but because Coach Hugh Jackson said it. Now, some folks are expecting him to play most of the second and third quarter, but Coach Hugh Jackson said on Monday when talking to ClevelandBrowns.com that he hasn't finalized the anticipated playing time, but he expects Baker to play quite a bit. Now, what that looks like, I don't know. You know how games go. We will work through it, but I do want him to play. As for Baker, he doesn't have any pregame jitters. He's way past that. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's played in a college football playoff or two, and he's way past showing nerves at playing the sport of football, even at this level. And he's actually in a more familiar role as a scout team quarterback. He did a lot of that at Oklahoma. Perhaps the greatest scout team of all time was quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield when you look at some of the guys that were on that scout team with him, including Orlando Brown and Dorial Green Beckham, among others. So he's getting to play a lot of Eli Manning in the lead up to this game. And he's enjoying getting to go after it against the first team defensive guys, saying, quote, "You want to get the best out of yourself and you want to compete against the best. Anytime you see some of those guys, Miles, Kirko, Demarius Randall, it's a good challenge." He's talking about guys like Christian Kirksey, Myles Garrett, and Emmanuel Ogbah. All guys who are expected to contribute on the defense in a big way in 2018 for a Browns team that needs to win, honestly.
Because I don't want to watch Cleveland suck anymore.
You're not going to drag OU fans for the next season while you're a trash football team. This is the year you turn it around, you start winning some games, whether it's Baker Mayfield or Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. And Hugh Jackson has said that, and he means for both of those guys, Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield, to do a lot of growing up. We're going to grow our quarterbacks. Tyrod Taylor is our quarterback. Baker Mayfield is competing and getting better each and every day. Still learning the National Football League. Has done a really nice job of learning our system and improving every day. This is the part where I get to remind everybody that Baker Mayfield is 23 years old and he's a rookie in the NFL. However, that has never held Baker Mayfield back, and I don't expect it to this year. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.